Hey guys, it's Destiny, and today we're going to be showing off Jingliu, and we're also going to be going over her character buffs, which are coming in version 3.4. I'd love to know which character you are the most excited for that is getting a character buff in version 3.4. And lastly, if you enjoy videos like these, do make sure to subscribe, leave a like to support the video, and now let's get straight into it. So let's just use our techniques, and then we'll get straight into it. We're using Jingliu, Hyacine, Tribbie, and then Sunday. And we're just going to use Hyacine's technique and just attack like so. Also guys, real quick, I wanted to show you guys this. My model has such a cute little wobble. Just like, look how cute this is. I forgot to show it in my previous videos, but I absolutely love it. With Tribbie, we're just going to use her ultimate just so we can take advantage of her zone to deal more damage onto these enemies. And now with Hyacine, we're just going to use her skill and then her ultimate, and little Ika will come in to attack shortly here. There we go. Boom! Now with Jingliu, we can use her skill, and now we're in her transformed state, and we can actually hold up to 4 stacks now of Syzygy, which is great for being able to actually stay in her form longer. So we're going to use her ultimate, get back a stack, and now with Sunday, we could just use his ultimate. Now we can just use her skill once again. Now we could just skill with Hyacine, little Ika's gonna come in, boom. Now with Tribbie basic attack. So we're so close to freaking breaking this robot, but unfortunately we won't be able to. But what we can do here at Jingliu is just use her skill, boom. And now the robot's almost a goner as well, which is pretty nice. What we could do with Jingliu is just use her skill once again. Now Sunday's gonna get attacked, but this is perfectly fine. We're about to take some damage here, which is okay. Now with Hyacine, I'm just going to use her skill, and boom. It wasn't enough to kill this robot, but that's fine. We could just finish it off here with Jingliu's ultimate. And we also have Hyacine's ultimate, Tribbie's ultimate, and we're getting pretty close to being able to use Sunday's ultimate again too, which is great. Now with Tribbie, we could just use her ultimate, and with Hyacine, we're going to replenish her ultimate's duration now by using it. So there we go, and we're going to be able to deal some nice damage from Jingliu herself, of course, but also Hyacine and Tribbie. So we could just basic attack with Hyacine, and now with Jingliu, we are going to use her skill. Now with Sunday, we could advance her forward, and we are also going to use his ultimate here, just so Jingliu gets closer to being able to use her ultimate. Boom, there goes Tribbie. Now Jingliu is going to skill once again. And now with Hyacine here, we could just use her skill. Little Ika is going to come in. And we are about to take some damage. Hopefully don't. Okay, I was really hoping the delay would not be on Jingliu, since that would be very annoying for the speed tuning we have going on. But thankfully they actually attacked little Ika there. So that actually ended up working out pretty nicely. And now with Tribbie, we can just use the ultimate once again. With Jingliu, we are going to use our ultimate since we have it available. We also are about to get another stack of Syzygy here. So we are at 4 stacks. With Jingliu, skill once again. And even though this is off element, like none of these enemies here have ice weakness, we're doing relatively well, I would say. So now with Hyacine basic attack, little Ika comes in and guarantees us the little bit of energy we needed to use her ultimate. I'm going to use her ultimate now since we are about to get attacked. Should also result in Tribbie's follow-up, then little Ika. And now we are going to take a bit of damage here, but it's fine. Okay, they took away Hyacine. This is doable. So with Tribbie, we could just immediately use her ultimate and free Hyacine now. And with Jingliu, we're going to skill. Follow up here with the ultimate and deal some nice damage. What? Bam. There we go. Now it's Sunday. Same thing as before. Advance forward Jingliu. We are also going to give Jingliu some more energy like so. And there comes in Tribbie. Now that hand is a goner, and boom. So we're dealing pretty nice damage right here. We are really close to being able to clear. And I believe we'll be able to clear here within this cycle. There goes Tribbie. There goes little Ika. I just love the frequent attacks from Tribbie and little Ika. Alright, so we are going to get hit here. Perfectly fine though. What I'm going to do is just use Tribbie's ultimate. Now, hopefully, please don't. Okay, I was hoping do not delay Jingliu, because that would honestly suck. And now with Jingliu, we're just going to take a quick look at her stats. We have a nice amount of speed. We have 100% crit rate. We have a bunch of crit damage. And then there's all of her buffs. And now we'll be able to finish this off. And Boom! There we go. And we also had the ultimate just in case we needed to attack once again. And we were able to clear that off element in only one cycle, which I think is pretty nice. So now let's quickly go over our builds and then also go over the changes for Jingliu, which I believe this is actually the same build as my previous showcase featuring Blade. So do make sure to check that out if you haven't already. For her Lycone, we do have the signature. Red traces are maxed out. For the relics, we're using Giant Tree and Warrior Goddess of Sun and Thunder. Eidolons, completely zero, not activated any of these. Now we have Jingliu, and we have a nice amount of HP because Jingliu is actually fully HP scaling now, which we're going to show this in a moment here. She has 163 speed, so I'm actually prioritizing Jingliu's HP and speed the most right here. Since we have a fast Jingliu and we also have a fast Sunday, he's going to be able to advance her forward right after she attacks, and both of them being fast results in them getting very frequent turns as a result. And Jingliu also gets a bunch of crit rate from her kits as well as crit damage. Since when Jingliu is in her enhanced state, she'll actually get 50% crit rate. And as you guys can see, I have 30%, but Sunday will be able to provide 20% whenever he uses his skill on an ally. So because of that, Jingliu will be able to be at 100% crit rate just by having 30% crit rate, which is pretty nice. If we take a look, here are the rest of her stats. The crit damage could be a bit better, but honestly, it's fine. We are using her signature light cone, and of course you can also consider using light cones on her that are HP scaling now, since she is fully HP scaling. For her traces, they're maxed out. For her relics, we're using Bone Collection and Scholar Lost and Erudition. As you guys can see, my Jingliu has over 5,000 HP. She's really close to 7,000. So we do have Bone Collection equipped. And one thing I did want to show is I'm actually using HP Body Piece, just because of the fact that she gets so much crit rate just through her kit, and she'll also get a lot of crit damage through her kits as well, which I'll show you guys in a moment here. For her Eidolons, completely zero. I have not activated any of these, as you guys can see. Here we have Tribbie, and we're just going to quickly go through her stats. Energy Regen Robe, nice amount of crit rate and crit damage. We do have her signature light cone, but of course you can use Dance Dance Dance. Traces are maxed out. Relics, we're using Bone Collection and Poet of Morning Collapse. And for Eidolons, this is an E0 Tribbie. I've not activated any of these Eidolons right here, as you guys can see. Lastly, we have Sunday, which he is one speed lower than Jingliu, so he's going to be able to immediately advance her forward after she takes action. Signature light cone, but you can consider alternatives. Traces are maxed out. Relics, we're using Broken Keel just to give even more crit damage to the team, and then we're also using the Ordeal set. For his Eidolons, he's completely zero. I've not activated any of these. And now if we take a look here at Jingliu, let's actually go over her character buffs. So some of the things that have been changed is that now her damage is based on max HP. Also, when a teammate's HP gets reduced, Jingliu's crit damage will increase and she'll gain Syzygy. And after entering the transmigration state, the max Syzygy increased and she'll additionally gain 1 extra stack. As you guys saw within the showcase, we were actually able to hold up to 4 stacks now, which is great. And now I'm just going to move over here so we can quickly go over these changes. Basic attack, it's now scaling off of max HP instead of attack. Same with her skill, we have max HP. For her ultimate, max HP. Technique, same thing. And also the changes are in the orange text as well if you want to follow along with that. Now they did change her talent a bit, so she will actually additionally gain 1 stack of Syzygy when she enters the transmigration state. And then also, while she is in the state, she will gain 1 stack of Moonlight whenever ally targets receive damage or consume HP. Each stack of Moonlight will increase Jingliu's crit damage by 44% up to 5 stacks. This would result in 220% additional crit damage for Jingliu. Syzygy can now be stacked up to 4 times, and then also, now this is a pretty nice thing that they added to her talent, is that whenever allies receive damage or consume HP a total of 20 times, Jingliu will gain 1 stack of Syzygy. And this takes effect a maximum of 1 time per attack received by each target. This is really nice for being able to get additional stacks of Syzygy for Jingliu, which now results in her being able to stay in the transmigration state for longer. Also, for her bonus ability, they added that now her ultimate damage dealt will increase by 20%, which this was actually a previous trace that she had, as you guys can see. So this trace got fully changed, which is when obtaining Syzygy at max stacks, Jingliu's next attack will ignore 25% of the target's defense. This is huge just for her personal damage output being further increased, as now she's ignoring enemies' defenses with this trace right here. And now instead of the action advance here by 10%, we will actually be able to regenerate additional energy. Now for the first Eidolon, they increased the amount of crit damage Jingliu will get, and now also she will deal 1 instance of ice damage equal to 80% of her max HP to the primary target. For her E4, when it comes to each stack of Moonlight, it'll now additionally increase her crit damage by 20%, so you will be able to get even more crit damage for her now. And lastly, for her E6, now her Ice Res Pen will increase by 30%, does result in her being able to deal more damage onto enemies. So overall, I would say Jingliu had some pretty nice changes. The biggest change is that they changed her scaling from attack to max HP, which I'm really curious how you guys feel about this. If you guys like this change or are not the biggest fan of it. This does change her build a bit, as you don't really care now for the attack, and you can even get away with using an HP body like I did in this showcase just because of how much crit rate and crit damage she'll be able to provide for herself, which is why I primarily focus on her HP as well as her speed for this particular build. But yeah, I'd love to know what you all think about Jingliu's changes, if you're a fan of them or not. And if you did enjoy this video, do make sure to subscribe. Leave a like to support the video, and I hope to see you all next time. Peace.